Hello and welcome to the Minority Report. I'm Jose Candelario. And today, as usual, I'm joined by Marita, Steven, and Addis, which is not the usual. We switch it up almost every month. It's been a different team every month. Today, we're going to go ahead and discuss a certain array of topics. We're going to start off with the dredging that's in Bridgeport. They want to dump in Morris Cove. We're going to talk a little bit about the Lego team that we have. There's a competitive Lego team here in New Haven now. And a couple of the national topics, and I'll recap some other stuff at the end. So let's get right into it. How you doing, guys?
Awesome.
All right. I see.
Saturday.
All right. It's happening. Welcome. So yeah, you had an event that went very well, right? Now, congratulations. I'll say on that.
Thank you.
All right. Stephen, you've been globetrotting as usual, so congratulations on that.
Yeah, you know, I stay here, there, everywhere.
All right, we're very good.
Big pimpin', big pimpin'.
There you go. And Addis, you've been traveling abroad too, enjoying the sun and some very needed time off and getting to work soon. So congratulations on all that.
Thank you.
All right. So, I'm just not even going to let you talk about your own selves. I'm going to talk about you just for you, okay? Just to make it easier for you. Okay?
Even better.
Very good. So let's start off with the first topic I'm going to start off with is in East Haven, there's right offshore in Morris Cove, there's a thing called the pit in the water, I guess. And the Army Corps of Engineers and all these people are saying that in order to do a project in Bridgeport, they need to take the stuff that they take out of dredging in Bridgeport and dump it into this pit in New Haven right off the shore there. How do you guys, is it okay to, go ahead, anyone.
Oh, no, it's not okay. I mean, that's more pollution. That's basically just what it is, more pollution being dumped right in New Haven. There's enough going on in New Haven. We don't need to be sick from pollution to add on top of other things. That's
Not to say that
my short take on
some
it.
people here won't say that it's not even healthy to begin with, so it won't make much of a difference.
But you don't want to add insult to injury at the same time. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you think about it, New Haven, I mean, personally, I'm a beach snob, and I'll say that wholeheartedly. I grew up in the Caribbean, so I know what beach water is supposed to look like. Like, when I step in there, I should be able to still see my feet. I don't touch the water on New England at all.
I'm very hesitant.
So this
Very
to me
hesitant.
is insult to injury, considering that we have the brownfields that have never been cleaned. I mean, you really don't have any real development going on the shoreline.
Well, I will say this. This come up yesterday, or a couple of days ago. I guess it's been in the works, but I guess there's an old plant that UI Holdings is going to have redone as part of a merger with another company. So they are going to start cleaning some of the waterways and redevelop some of these projects along the waterways. So are we being counterproductive by?
I'm about to say,
Isn't that counterproductive?
let's dump some more stuff, and then we're going to go clean it up.
That's doubling the cost as well. So what sense would that make? If you're going to clean it up, move it out. Don't move it in, just to move it right back out.
Who came up with this idea again?
This is the Army Corps of Engineers. I mean, this is their plan in order to have this project. I guess the project in Bridgeport has been detained, and all this time they haven't found another solution to the problem, which I guess this was also protested before. And knows a couple of people that live out there right on the shore, and they protesting every day. So, I mean, I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, we have a lot of the oil tanks and all the other kind of stuff already out there. I don't think we got to add insult to injury. Let's try to work the other way with this. So let's move on to our next topic here in New Haven. They have a Lego team,
Woo! Legos.
competitive Lego team.
Can I get in? Or is it too late to sign up?
You know what? I hope there is.
Right? I could frame.
There's nothing more upsetting to seeing like these old people making these like how about this? We had this 40-year-old in Philadelphia. Like he's more in his 50s now, but he did like the Vatican, and he actually made it on the news doing the Vatican. So let me tell you,
Wow.
these people are gonna get crazy artistic. But this is a competitive team. So, what's your team name for your team?
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay. New Haven Super Builders.
New Haven Super Builder.
I know, okay. Kind of corny.
At least she knows. At
He's
least she
like,
knows.
Go ahead, Steven.
You know what? Mine would be called That's Nice. Team That's Nice.
Team That's Nice. Okay.
You know why? Because you see it and be like, that's nice.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I mean, I had to follow her.
Not with corniness, though. You
No,
gotta.
with corniness.
Okay, go ahead. All right.
I thought of the Elm City Bricklayers.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hey.
Elm City Bricklayers.
As long as you're not
We
a
are the model
basketball team,
city.
That's good.
We are the model city, so the model city is now laying
Okay,
bricks.
okay.
So,
All right.
I want that copyrighted, and I want my cut. I want to put that out there. I want my cut.
Very good. Okay. I'm gonna go with the hit. The hit. That's it.
The hit.
The hit. You know, like The Weeknd.
Oh.
I mean, come on. We gotta. I'm an old man, and I know about this stuff.
Oh
now.
my gosh.
We're gonna add an article before. All right.
Okay, all y'all.
I'm
crazy.
telling Luna you stole that from her.
Well, you know what? Fine. That's right. We are a part of, you know what? I can't help that our writing team consists of a 7-year-old, okay?
Oh, man.
That's what the budget allows.
He's got a small budget here, folks.
No name is a bad name, okay?
How about
No
the
name
team
is a
with
bad
no name? Remember, like the bar with no name, the team with no name. No, no, okay.
Nah, plus, that's a lot of. Then you need an acronym for that. Then you got dots, and then the screening, and they always want to upcharge you
Elm
for
City
something like
Bricklayers.
okay, there you go.
Bricklayers.
Okay, all right.
Pay me.
Very good. All right, so let's move on to some international news. I guess Planned Parenthood got defunded.
matter of
And we
fact-
saw that in all over the place last night and this morning, and so.
I was on my way over here. I drove by Planned Parenthood, and despite the fact that they got their defunding, well, it's not totally over as of yet. We still got to bring it to the Senate. They're still out there protesting when not a single penny from federal funding actually supports abortion. Only make up 3% of the actual services that happen in Planned Parenthood, and now we're basically defunding women's health.
Okay.
Move on. I can't. I just can't.
I was
I
going to say,
can't.
this is a touchy subject for me. It really is. I personally don't believe in abortion, so I just, I'm not going to say either way. But if people, it's a little tough. It's a little tough. But I understand you saying, people, if they want the option to do so. But I was surprised when I heard about it, though.
I mean, you do realize that Planned Parenthood is not like the abortion clinic. It is a clinic in your community. You can get contraception. You can get your actual STD testing, HIV testing, counseling, and what have you. There are a bunch of other services that they have available that are not abortion services. In addition to that, you can actually walk in there and be seen immediately. You know how long it takes me to get an appointment with my GYN? I have to wait 3 to 4 months for that.
Yeah.
So therefore, if we are taking that away as an option in the community, and the people who actually use them, they're not black and brown people. They're people with no money. And that does not have anything to do with the color of your skin. So we're basically defunding healthcare in really poor and impoverished areas. So when we cut the funding, where are these people going to get their healthcare then?
Well, in that
Okay, let
case,
me
with
just say
all the
this.
other fundings and things, I do think,
I'm going to
that's
interject
important.
real quick. I'm going to interject real quick. We're talking about a day and age in which equality is overall, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're all equal. Our coverage should be equal.
But it's
our
not.
access to our health care should be expedited in a timely fashion because that's what we deserve, right?
Right.
Right or wrong. So isn't that what Obamacare is taking care of? Is that what are we moving towards? Is that so don't you have access to health care? Isn't the playing field a little more level?
Okay. This is the discrepancy. So Obamacare, let's stop calling it that. The Affordable Care Act was really about making sure that people had access to insurance. Before that, insurance companies could deny you for just about anything. So they didn't have to cover anything at all. Now, when you actually had cancer a couple of years ago, imagine that your insurance company said, yeah, you know what, that was probably something you had beforehand, so we're not going to pay for your cost whatsoever. So with the Affordable Care Act, we expanded that and have now an open market for health insurance. The problem, and usually with the naysayers with Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, is that although it opens up the door for more insurance coverage and what have you, it does not include access to quality health care. Because now that everyone has insurance, you also have to now have more places for people to get seen.
Okay. Granted.
And also, you have to realize you have a lot of, unfortunately, teenagers that get caught up in these situations, and they need an outlet or they need health care as well, because not all the time they want to go to their parents.
Okay.
They don't want to go to their family doctor.
I get that.
Things like that. So you need that access. You have to have that.
So you're saying that maybe a client doctor privilege it might be at stake here because you have to go through certain channels to get access to the health care? Like your parents have to know that you're going to someone for something?
No, technically speaking, the only time the consent comes into play is when you're talking about abortions. And again, federal funding does not pay for any single abortion. They do not. None of the federal money does that. As far as teenagers in general, would you prefer that your child lie to you or not say anything to you at all and have something hiding and be, have some kind of issue as opposed to being able to go to a free clinic?
That's more family dynamics, and that's also very
Personally, I would rather have my child go talk to a professional. If they're afraid to talk to me, I want my child to have at least access.
Right.
But now we're getting rid of that.
Okay, very good. All right,
Okay.
long discussion.
Amen.
Some of us feel more passionate than the others. I'm scared of Addis right now. She was
You
very
should be. I'm
intimidating.
No, the thing is, you have to
I
understand.
no,
You have
we-
to understand
we-
that we
we
have
do.
to think globally. I'm not. I mean, if I may not be a patron or a customer at Planned Parenthood, but I think about the families that I work with on a daily basis who do need that access. So, what I look like telling you, "Oh, be healthy," but you have nowhere to actually seek your health care.
Cool. We're gonna move on
Yeah.
before Addis pops a vein.
Yeah, pop a vein
Very
and
good.
revolution.
So, also in the news this past week,
ahead.
there was a young man who had built an alarm clock or something that resembled an alarm clock, or it was actually an alarm clock, whatever we're talking about. But it was thought to be a bomb. And then some other guy would deal with nuclear stuff, and you guys can fill in the gaps here. How do you feel about the world tour the clockmaker went on? Mr. Ahmed, right? Ahmed? There you go.
You know what? I don't feel bad for him at all, truthfully, because he is a rock star right now. Have you seen that picture of him on Facebook? I'm just waiting for somebody to stamp Thug Life on it and Snoop and Dre come crip walking all over the place. He's a rock star now. He's met the president. He's got jobs coming up. He's going to be fine. Truthfully, it's the more subtle situations that our Middle Eastern friends have to go through through their different, dealing with prejudice and stuff like that. So this situation, it ended up being a good situation for him, but if you think about the whole spectrum of things, it's not.
I mean, to me, I threw out this note last night, and it was very interesting to me that the Muslim Association of America or something like that, to that effect. Don't quote me on the actual title, but they came out and said that they were actually for the way that they came out and did what they did because of the certain climate that we live in, was the term that they used.
I'm gonna do finger norms on this one because I'm going to interject and go BS. I'm gonna call BS right now. Let me tell you why. If this entire situation, this entire incident was because we thought he had a bomb, then why didn't they call the bomb squad? Why did they allow him to sit in the principal's office with the clock next to the teacher? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. If I thought you had a bomb, I am across the street somewhere else. I'm not gonna be sitting next to you. So the whole idea of it being, we thought it was a bomb is bogus. The reality that this was complete racial profiling at a whole new level. And what pisses me off, because I feel really bad for the kid to have to experience that, but let's talk about all of our other non-Muslim kids who get racially profiled in school and get arrested for other
Every
things
day,
that have
all the
nothing to do with anything negative. But yet, my kudos to a man that, you got some exposure out of this and you get a scholarship. Mark Zuckerberg wants to see you. MIT wants to fund you. But technically speaking, this is common stance. And if anything, this shining a spotlight on the behaviors that happen in the school from the teachers. The teacher incited this whole call the cops. Aren't you be educating my child, not making him a criminal?
All right. Well,
I agree.
go ahead. yeah.
I don't have too much to say after that, but I agree with Addis.
She's
Seriously.
absolutely right. I mean, if you think you have a bomb in the school, what's the first thing you do? You evacuate the school.
Yeah.
Everybody
did
out.
none of that.
I'm mad. You can stay here with your clock. Everybody out.
You know what? I think
Yeah,
that what we need to work on is education for the public on what a bomb looks like. I mean, do you think the average person right now, if I were to walk in a room and show you 3 objects and so tell you which one of these is actually a bomb that could be made in the basement, I mean, we would probably all fail.
It's the one that looks like a clock.
If you're Muslim.
Well, see, that's the whole thing, because technology's come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
So people use Wi-Fi and other ways to trigger something. You don't use
People use
cell phones
people
to
use
trigger.
cell phones.
Yeah.
A clock is so 1930s. I mean, you know,
Mission
they could
Impossible.
use a wind-up clock on some dynamite. We're beyond that. But yes.
Even the New Jack City clock was digital. I'm just saying. I'm sorry, that was inappropriate.
Pookie.
There you go.
Scotty,
Very good.
I'm gonna die. I'm sorry.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Go ahead. Continue. I got you.
Moving right along.
Moving right along. So, in good news, did anyone watch the the Miss America pageant? Is that what the latest pageant that took place? No one.
I did not watch it, but I heard, Vanessa Williams was going to make this big comeback with it. But
I heard that they apologized to her.
about for what?
Apparently.
For what? For what?
Well,
Let me
you
tell
didn't-
you something. Let me tell you. This is the most interesting thing. Hold on. I will say that is the most interesting
I'm
thing
sorry.
about this Miss America is that people say Vanessa Williams is being apologized to, but there's a whole generation
That don't
that
understand why.
don't even know why.
I'm one of
And
those people.
Vanessa
Dang.
Williams
She's a-
became Miss America, a phenomenon in the media.
I knew that,
And then all of a
okay.
sudden she becomes big, but then she got dethroned when some scandalous pictures were printed and the pageantry then
Didn't know about the
she took her
scandalous
crown away,
pictures.
stripped her crown. So
I got
then
the
she
pictures.
made
I'll show
a
them to you.
comeback
Don't worry about
unlike any other person in the industry because she proved that talent over everything.
Yep.
Wow.
So now you know. So now you know. So this is interesting because now we have to educate a whole. I thought Vanessa Williams
Some
was
people
just
don't
she
even
wasn't
the actress.
the
I
actress.
knew she was Miss America, but I didn't know she was dethroned and why. I never knew that. Oh,
You lived a shelter's childhood. So you never get a Jet magazine delivered to your house.
No.
Oh my, sweet Jesus.
And it's funny because when I saw the actual social media article, they
Lord.
apologized to her, and I'm like, it would have been nice if they actually went into detail as to why they apologized to her. But they didn't say that. Just they apologized to her, and it was a glorious moment, and we moved on.
Yeah.
But apologies
because
for
I
what?
saw the hype about it, on Facebook that she was coming back and all this stuff, and I was like,
Well, it was probably,
okay.
you know,
I was like, well, that's
propaganda.
great, yeah. But I never knew the backstory.
But obviously, outside of that, it's pretty irrelevant because you guys don't even know who the winner was.
No.
Case in point. So moving on.
I didn't even know the American
You know
pageant was
what? I
on.
watched 5 minutes of that show. I was actually at my sister's house. And she's been going on about Miss South Carolina. Oh, that's my girl. She's going in, blah, 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 blah. And then she started singing. Horrible. Oh, she was so bad. Even my sister was
What?
like, ooh, she didn't sound too good.
So the bad talent. I mean, it's a crapshoot.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
it
not
is.
like it's a phenomenal, talent show or something like X Factor or American Idol where we actually have.
Or American Ninja Warriors. I'm sorry.
American Ninja Warrior. Yeah.
Show.
I saw the episode that the lady won, and Spider Woman. She was
Man.
a freak.
Spider-
Anyway,
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
I watch too
Sorry,
much
go off
TV,
topic.
man.
Entirely
I
too
can't even
much
talk
TV.
about how much TV I
I
should
don't
be
watch
watching.
enough. That's why I'm so sheltered.
So very good. Let me just say real quick. You had a point. Something was opening somewhere.
Oh, so I was reading in the local newspaper about the fact that the city has gone into contract with Beulah Heights, I believe, and they're going to be opening up a youth center over on Orchard Street. And it's fashioned after the Door in New York City. So this is supposed to be a drop-in center where they'll have 200 beds for kids that don't have homes. So apparently they did a study in the city, and they found that over 200 kids on average, they don't have homes. They sleep on their friends' couches.
Yeah.
So they have those are their
I
situations.
mean, but
they're
we
living
see
under.
we see the phenomenon happen in other cities like Seattle. Because when I was in Seattle, Tacoma, I mean, it was. I mean, your kids younger than me, like on the sidewalk asking for money. So it was.
So what I found interesting about the proposal is that they went into, I guess the signing of the lease went into effect. The city and
Yep,
this
that happened.
faith-based
Yep.
community.
So
are
it should
going
be
through
open
this.
somewhere in the fall.
No, they
No.
have to build it. They have to build. They have to there's still a campaign to actually put the center together, and they have to staff it. Building is one thing, staffing it is another. You're talking about a 200 plus bed shelter for teenagers. that'll have showers,
So how much you
lockers.
said it was a year?
There, I think the article said something about 100,000 is being set aside for operational costs to run the facility. As someone who's run residential facilities, that is not enough. And I just keep thinking, 200 kids sleeping at overnight. How many staff members?
Yeah,
are
I used to
on?
work at Columbus House, and I used to do the overnights there, and I even did the overflow one season through the Columbus House. And let me tell you, it was 3 of us, and these were grown men, and they were like 30 in there.
Security,
and,
more staff.
More staff.
And then these guys, at least we knew they didn't carry any weapons, but this is a younger generation, so I don't know if the concerns are the same or even more.
I mean, I think this is a great start. I definitely applaud the administration of the city of New Haven for taking a step in this direction. I just think we need to really expand upon what the programming is going to look like in there, the kind of staffing that's going to be necessary to actually operate the shelter, and more importantly, what's going to be the transition plan? Because it's not just, okay, so I have a place to sleep for the night, but wouldn't it be more cost effective to have something like supportive housing for those kids to actually, live in a community where they stay, as opposed to just having a drop-in center to stay at for a minute and leave? So it's still not home.
Yeah,
per se.
It's the on ramp.
Yeah.
Is this an on ramp to something better, or is it, a temporary Band-Aid which eventually get rid
I mean, that's what it almost sounds like. And again, I wholeheartedly applaud the city for taking this step. This is a wonderful, wonderful
There you go.
step.
Yes.
But I think they're going to need a lot more support from the community to make this happen.
Everything needs support. I mean,
Like,
there's-
I'm still-
nothing's just going to happen and maintain itself without the support of the community. And this is something that will, in the long run, help us because of the local economy, of the fact that, yes, New Haven does not have many jobs. That brings me to one of our second to last point, because now they're doing community college for free. We're trying to work towards that.
Which is gonna go
Hillary,
great
so
with
these into that, because this is in common, it's combining these resources together to help people along. So Hillary Clinton put the plan out. How do you guys feel? Because I know you always think this is Obama's.
So but it was Obama's vision, and she's just got the plan.
Carrying it
But
out.
okay, but she's going to be the one to bring it to fruition. So
I mean, I think this is great though, because especially like for the kids maybe that are in the drop-in center, maybe they can help them get to school, get to college, and then lead to better jobs and maybe find their own housing after that, help them some type of way. So
Some kids just need that extra push. So many inner city kids can't even think about college because they know they can't afford it. They know that they can't put in the grades because they're too busy trying to be cool with their friends. So they need to step aside and get out of their neighborhood, get away from their friends, and get around more people who are thinking at a higher level. So I think it'll be good.
Okay.
So here's something to think about. I think it's an awesome idea to have community college be affordable, definitely, without a doubt. So I kind of think back to my first day of college when they give you that speech to look to the right of you, look to the left of you, someone here is not going to be here by the time you graduate. And the whole idea of getting the easiest part of college is getting in. Staying in is the hardest part.
Yeah, I mean, but we will work towards that. I think
No. So what I'm saying, that even if
you
you're going to have free tuition, I want to know what kind of services are going to be available to support
that's
college students.
I'm not even going to get
just
there
think
because
about
I will
this.
say
Just think
this.
about this, though.
You alleviate-
Tuition is
I will
only
say this,
one
Addis,
bill. You still
Addis.
have books. You still have fees. You still have
We
other
get
things that you
that,
have to
but
pay
Addis,
for.
you already alleviated a cause, the
Mm-hmm.
number one cause. To
Sure.
the dropping out, which is the actual thing.
No,
Wait,
that's
everything
great.
else,
I just
look,
want to make sure that we
wait,
do
yes.
have supportive services in
But
place.
see, but I'm going to say this: we have done this much for you.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a part-time job and get some books. It's not like we're already. You also got to put your part in.
That's
right,
right.
Not
you've got to put in the
everything.
work, definitely.
You know what I'm
Everything
saying?
can't be
'Cause-
handed to you.
No,
You
no,
have to
I'm
earn.
not-
And
I'm
the
not
thing is
saying
you'll
that's-
appreciate
And I will say
things
this
more
too,
if you
and I
earn
would
it.
recommend this to everyone who's out there, because the next generation of McDonald's employee or data, the entry level will be coding. So people should be taking advantage of this, getting their associates, getting some basic coding instructions, because that is the future. So you want to change the drop-in center, teach these kids how to code so they can get their jobs online, because that's where the future is headed. If the future is online with security, then let's do that. And community college will help, at least give them
absolutely.
basic understanding of what it is, because speaking, writing languages is different. So how would this help, help you or someone, that Stephen?
Actually, I have a lot of nieces and nephews that, are at that age where they're on their way to going to school, and sometimes you just need to get some type of foundation under you because not all these kids know what they want to do with their lives. Times are changing. They need that time to figure out what they want to do, and they need the help, but they do have to earn it. They can't be given everything because kids these days, if they're given everything, they don't appreciate anything that they're given.
Well, we already know how some of you feel. Well, you told me last night how you feel about millennials, and in order to not discriminate against that part of the population, I will not allow you to repeat anything you said last night. Okay. Well, thank you very much, guys. All right, that's our time for you.
Good.
I still got time to talk.
Told you Jose and him. It's Jose and him.
First off, we already talked about the Dixwell Community Center opening. Just an update on the body parts that were found scattered across New Haven. It turned out to be a gentleman by the name of Ray Robinson. And I just want to say rest in peace, Ray Robinson. And moving on from there, on a lighter note, and good news, I want to say happy 40th anniversary to Claire's Cornucopia. And ever since I became a vegetarian, because yes, I did have a scare, and I now am 500 times a fan of Claire's than I've ever been. Also, New Haven Independent celebrating its 10th anniversary. Congratulations, Paul Bass. And congratulations also on 103.5 FM, which is their local radio station. And you can listen to it if you're right here in the greater New Haven area. Thanks a lot, Marita. Thanks a lot, Marita.
I can't help it.
Jesus. Okay, very good. And so for Marita,
His 5 minutes.
Steven, Ms. Addis, I'm Jose.
Oh my God.
Thank you very much, you guys. Have a great day. Jeez.
Come no, customer alla for the jugger when they get the car money. Alla for the jugger when they get the car take it. Alla for the jugger when they get the car money. Alla for the jugger when they get the car. Now they have the business come to kill you. Them me I want all the nice young people them. From watching the bed, down to ear, me go on your mother, father, sister, and your best friend. Me no want see no people get so acid. That's why me pull up my socks and build them lyrics. Me want all the you make them mind up quick and don't take no.